Frank, from a D-line perspective, how do you think you guys played against BYU?
Not very good. Not very good. And so that's on me. You know, I got to do a better job getting these guys ready to go, and didn't play to the level that we can play, and we needed to play for us to help our football team. And you know, it was a huge letdown. You know what I mean? So for me, it's always about, you know, evaluating my preparation with these guys. What could I have done better? Was there more I could have done? You know, and I think there's a lot of stuff I could have done better. Probably simplifying some things, mentally, fundamentally, technique, stuff like that, just so they weren't overthinking things. And so bottom line was we didn't get the job done, and I got to do a better job.
Were they a lot of this fixable issues, or was it, hey, these guys are bigger, faster, and stronger than us up front, we just can't put a pass rush?
Yeah. No, it's all fixable issues. It's all fixable issues. I mean, you know, as close as the game was, I feel like we didn't. That was one of our worst games we probably played up front. You know, so for us to be able to fix and get us back on track to where we need to be and where we can play, I think is very fixable, and that starts with me.
What were the specific problems? I mean, you kind of touched on it a little bit. But specifically, what did the Soul Scout teach you?
You know, stopping the run, number one, is always first and foremost, and so I think they rushed over 150 yards, which is a problem. You know, some of that came with the QB draw game and just us understanding situational football and who is the quarterback and his ability to be able to use his legs to extend plays. You know, for us, just emphasizing that probably a little bit more, and then being able to transition to the pass rush. You know, a lot of people always see what happens at the catch. You know, part of it, they see coverage, right? But they don't understand that it starts with the rush. You know, and so for us not getting back to the quarterback like we normally do and putting pressure on him and getting in his face and getting hits on the quarterback, which is one of our goals, was a problem. So because we couldn't do that, you see the outcome of the passing portion of the football game. So coverage is important, but even more important is the pass rush.
You're not looking for excuses, but when Zeke and D-Wash go out on that first play and two big leaders, emotional leaders in this team, it kind of puts you on your back heels. Did that play any kind of role?
I don't think it played a role in the outcome, but those are big shoes to fill. Those are big shoes to fill, and as you guys already know, we were down a little bit and with big bodies anyway, so to lose those two are big losses for us, but at the end of the day, that's what the training's for. The next man's got to play. He's got to be ready to roll. And to tell you the truth, I thought Ty Tanner came in and did a solid job there. Gabe Hunter came and did a solid job, and so for what we asked those guys to do, they did what we asked them to do. Come in and fill those shoes, and they're big shoes to fill, and again, that's why we got to train everybody the same. So when something like that happens, the next man's ready to roll.
What have you seen out of Gabe this year?
Gabe's consistent. That's what he is. We know what we're going to get from Gabe. That's consistency. He knows the football. He knows the game. He knows our plays. He knows the technique. So for him to be able to line up, and he's going to give you everything he's got. He plays hard. He plays physical. So that's what we know we're going to get from Gabe. Is he's going to give us everything he's got. He's going to be where he's supposed to be, and he's going to get there fast. So that's what we expect from him, and that's what he gives us every time he's on the field.
And we've seen a lot more Cortez Hogans with George Tarlas out. What are some of Cortez's strengths from the field, and where does he need to grow?
Cortez is super explosive. He's very explosive, and just like the rest of the guys up front, man, I think they all need to grow, and just the consistency of their eye progression. You know what I mean? So for us, everything starts with being in a great stance, and then their eyes play a big role in striking and getting off blocks and being where they're supposed to be. So for him, he's just got to continue to grow in that aspect as far as cleaning up where his eyes are at, so that he can do his job the way he really wants to get it done, and in turn help the defense be successful.
When it comes to the pass rush, how much of that can be aided by, you know, blitzes, or how much of that is just the understanding the D-line personnel and then putting those guys in the best position to win their matchups?
Yeah, to me, if you can't rush with your D-line, then you're going to have a hard time no matter what. So that's where it starts, man. We got to train these guys to be able to pass rush without any pressure. I think that the cherry on top is bringing pressure. That just causes a bigger problem for teams who can't pick up pass rushes to bring in extra bodies. But for us, we got to be able to rush with four guys.
When you have a game, obviously, that doesn't go quite the way you want, what are you looking forward to most about the next game?
Growth. Learning from, re-evaluating, learning from it, and then getting ready to re-engage what we just learned, and hopefully overcame this week through practice, the mentality and making sure we put that back on film. What we talked about and learned from this week. If not, then shoot, don't expect a different result.
What does Scott Matlock bring to the team from a leadership perspective?
He's one of our big leaders, man. He's a big deal. So, having his presence on the football field, his voice, all the time throughout the week is a big deal. It's a big deal to this football team. So there's a lot of respect for Scott. He does a great job. He takes pride in that role as far as being a leader. And so he's a big part of what we do.
He might be the answer, but the WWE is here today speaking to the athletes, student athletes and stuff about MIL and kind of their program. Who do you think on the football team will make a good WWE superstar?
Should we probably have a few of them, to tell you the truth, man, in all positions. But I wouldn't be able to tell you who that is. I'm just thinking about personalities, right? To be in the WWE, you got to have a personality about you that kind of separates you from the rest of the crew. But we don't really have guys that go out of their way to stand out as far as that goes, if that makes sense. These guys stand out because of their body of work, their work ethic, and doing things the right way on and off the football field. So great personalities, great kids. There's probably a lot of them that would be able to take in that role.
Are you content with the season Scott Matlock is having? If so, where can he get better?
I'm not. I don't think he is. I don't think anyone's content with where they're at right now. We have 3 losses, which is 3 too many. And so for the kids, man, for them, it was about having a perfect season. And if we're not there yet, what can we do to fix it? And then how much more detailed can we be and intentional every single day? So, I don't think unless we come home with those trophies at the end of the season, no one will be content with where we're at.
What are you seeing in Nevada?
They're a good football team. It's funny because I think teams will look at their record and kind of judge it off of that. But these guys are actually a good football team. I think they're physical. I think they're tough. I think they're coached well. I think they're still trying to find their identity a little bit in some of the positions, but up front, man, they're tough. They're going to do a good job. They're aggressive. They're going to come after us. They might not have anything to lose in the eyes of the world, but pride's always on the table, and I think they take pride in what they do. Their head coach is a good dude, good people. We have a lot of ties to their staff, and so they're going to come out to fight, and we got to be ready for that fight. It's going to be a street fight.
When they switched the quarterback to the Oklahoma State transfer, the San Jose game seemed like their best offensive game. What did you see, I guess, in the difference?
Yeah, man, I think they bring different things to the table. Number 16 is a long athlete, and he can run, and he's a problem containing him with his legs. But number 1 coming into the game, they can both throw the ball, but I think they both bring problems to the table if you're not fundamentally sound. So that's the whole goal for us, is to be able to be sound in the run game and get after this quarterback when the time comes.
Cal has been there forever as a running back, it seems. What makes him tough to handle?
Man, he is physical now. He's a relentless runner. So for us, it's about going through his thigh boards and not allowing him to build momentum coming downhill. So when you see him have success, man, there's no disruption in the old line, in the line of scrimmage, and he comes downhill and he will run you over. So I actually like his style of play, man. He's a physical running back, and we're going to have to gang tackle him and be great at tackling in this football game to have success in the run game.